Hey guys, thanks for stopping by, checking out my channel. My name's Vincent Ennis. I play drums and I have a small production company called Vincent Ennis Productions. And today I wanted to test out some cables, some HDMI cables specifically that are fiber optic. And I couldn't find a lot of information out there on this topic. So what I wanted to do was to find out if camera control for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema cameras will work with these really long cables. Some of these are 100 meters, 328 feet. I've got 3 different brands. Nobody paid me to do this review, so we're gonna just see what works and what doesn't. So here we go. All right, so first on the list we have the Soybae 4K fiber optic HDMI. This says it's 100 meters, so we're looking at 328 feet. All right. So if you see there, it's pretty long. Let me move these off the table so you guys can see better. So it's pretty flexible looking on first glance. It looks pretty robust. Let's plug it in. Let's just go for it and see what we got. So here we go in real time. Let's see. I'm gonna just plug this in to start with and input one. Now I've heard also that sometimes that these cables, that not the cables, but the ATEM a lot of times has less power, I guess is the term. I'm not sure what they're talking about on some of the other HDMI inputs. So we're gonna give it its best chance with input 1, and then we'll go from there. So here we go. Let's see if we can get this thing plugged in and see if it will work. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind here, and one thing I've already see that I messed up, is that each one of these cables have a source and they're one directional. They're one directional. They'll only go in one direction, and I actually had it flipped. So I'll pull up the Amazon specs and I'll link it down below, but the Soybae 4K fiber, that one came in at $109.99. It says it's 100 meters, which will be 328 feet, and so far it works. All right, so let's check out the camera control here and see if it in fact works, or if it works. So we're gonna turn the aperture down, aperture back up. You can see it moving there in the software, so aperture controls are working. Okay, and then we're gonna try focus, because I have a lens that has push to focus, autofocus. It's not a cinema lens, it's just a regular focus lens. All right, looks like you can pull focus. Oh, that's aperture controls. So focus. All right, looks like the focus controls are working. All right, looks like the focus controls are working. Let's try to pull focus. Yeah. All right, looks good. Let's try the push autofocus. So pull that and then hold the focus button down. Yeah, so it looks like camera controls are working, in fact, with the Soybae 4K. Let's move on and try the next one. This one's 328 feet, so guys, that's pretty impressive. I will say that fiber optics, you're gonna have to be careful with your how you install this, because the glass inside could be broken, but yeah, as of right now, everything appears to be working. So we're gonna swap that cable out, and looks like we've got full camera control with the Soybae, and we'll try next, we'll do the, let's take this off here. Next, we're gonna try the DTech, I believe it is. I believe this one is, what's the length on this one? 100 meters, again, so this is another 100 meter cable, 328 feet. Let's give this a go and see if this one will also work. So that's the packaging, that's how it came. Looks very similar to the first brand. So let's try and swap this out. So this is what I was telling you earlier. Let's see if I can get a focus on that. Let's see, camera 2, let's focus. But there's a display side, okay? And then there's the source, okay? So the source would be the camera, and the display would go to your switcher. All right, so let's swap out. This is the second cable, DTech. All right, as you see, the DTech, I guess it is, seems to be working just fine. Also, this one's also 100 meters. Let's check camera control, which I'm sure if it's getting, so we'll try aperture. Yeah, so we got aperture control. Let's do focus. Let's see if we can't pull focus here. Yep, so we have our focus controls. Yep, push to focus. So it looks like camera control is still in effect. Let's pull this back up here so you guys can see. All right, so I'm using the ATEM to control. So there's aperture control. You can see going up and down. All right, we have, well, let's just try another focus. There we go. All right, that one works as well. So another thumbs up. Camera control works so far on the first two on the DTech. One final cable, and then for our Amazon test. All right, so the final test will be the, oh, let's take the picture. So the final test will be the iBirdie active HDMI cable. And this one says also it is, I believe this one's also 100 meters. So let's take this out. So I like the packaging on this one. You guys can see here, but this particular one comes in a spool. It's kind of nice. High speed, fiber optical, 4K, 120 hertz, 100 meters. Once again, this one's also 100 meters. So let's get this packaging off and give it a shot. Let's see what we got. All right, this time I plugged it into camera 8, and yeah, looks like we've got camera control. So let's adjust the white balance, bring it up to 43 like the others. Okay, here, let's put this picture in picture key 8. All right, let you see what we're doing here. Take this to 4350. Our shutter should be at 160. The gain should be at 0. Okay, let's check camera control. Let's open the aperture. All right, looks good. 43. Let's check focus. Focus controls. So there you have it, guys. Those are my kind of tests on that. I was actually surprised. I thought that for sure one of these would fail, but all of them worked, and all of them worked with camera control. So I haven't seen a lot of testing 100-meter cables for camera control for the Blackmagic device. I tell you, I was pretty impressed for the price. 100 bucks for 300 foot of cable is pretty cheap. I will say, professionally, SDI would probably be the way to go unless you're actually running fiber optic cable to your destination, which that's a whole nother topic. But SDI is tried and true, you know, but to get camera control with SDI requires 2 SDI cables, whereas, you know, something like this with the optical HDMI, if you have an ATEM Mini that has HDMI ports or ATEM Mini Extreme Pro, etc. This, I'll tell you what, man, I'd look into this. This isn't a bad deal. I would certainly keep it for myself, and I wouldn't be afraid to use it. I don't know about the longevity of it. I don't want to say it's brand new technology, but it's pretty new. And I would imagine it would be fine as long as you're not coiling and uncoiling it constantly or stepping on it, because you know the glass and the optical cable can break. But anyways, hopefully you guys found this helpful. Like, subscribe, appreciate it. See you in the next one.